Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. So now in our today's lecture, what we are going to discuss, we are going to deal with some of the NCERT problems of our chapter number 1 of the chemistry, that is matter in our surroundings. So we have certain problems that are important from exam point of view. So our first problem is, which of the following among these is a matter? So matter is something that has mass and occupies some space. So what is matter? That has mass and it will going to occupy space. So among all the following, we will consider the example of matter. Firstly, we will take chair. So we will classify it as solid matter, liquid matter and gaseous form. So we have the three forms of matter here. Firstly, chair. Chair is considered as a solid. So it is counted in the category of solid matter. Second, air. Air is a gaseous matter. Love is a feeling. So we can't touch it or it cannot occupy any space. So love is not counted in any category of matter. Next is smell. Smell are due to the particles. It does not occupy any space. So smell is not considered in the category of matter. Next we have hate. Hate is again a feeling or expression or emotion. So it will not be considered in the category of matter. Now we have elements. Elements are solid. So it is considered in the category of solid matter. Thought. Thought is again a feeling. It will not occupy any space and does not have any mass. So thought will not be considered in the category of matter. Next is cold. Cold is something that we feel. So it is not considered in the category of matter. Cold drink. Cold drink are the liquid forms. So we will consider it in the category of liquid matter. Smell of perfume. Smell of perfume has a particles that are dissolved in the air. So smell is a feeling. So we will can't considered in the category of matter. So smell is again non-matter. So this is the correct classification of solid, liquid and gaseous matter. Matter is something that has mass and occupies space. Now coming to our next problem, we have give reasons for the following observations. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but to get the smell from cold food, you have to go close. So what actually happens here, we see that when our mother usually cooks some special dishes in a kitchen, what we will get a fragrance of these aroma particles and these will come to our nose very directly. And what we will observe that the food is too yummy. So what we will do here, the particles of the food that are the ingredients used in kitchen, that are aroma, get mixed with the air around us, and the particles of the gases are in the continuous motion, and this smell will come to our nose and we will feel it in a very random way. But in case of cold food, what actually happens, the cold food have particles that do not contain any continuous particles that will be in the continuous motion, so that we cannot observe the smell of the cold food. So what happens in case of hot sizzling food? In case of hot sizzling food, what actually happens, the aroma of food particles get mixed with air. So aroma of food particles get mixed with air, and what happens, gaseous particles are in continuous motion. So the smell of the food from a very distance can reaches us at a very high speed because these are in the continuous random motion. Now coming to our next question, we have a diver is able to cut through the water in the swimming pool. Which property of the matter does this observation show? So what actually we conclude that in particles of the water, it also has some spaces between them. So if the particle have the spaces, it have an ability for the diver to cut these particles because due to the space, it have a ability. So the property used here is intermolecular space. So what happened? The property has having a intermolecular space. Due to the intermolecular space among the water particles, if I considered water here, in case of the water, if I draw diagrammatic representation, so water molecules have some space between them. So diver is able to cut through the water because of these intermolecular distances. So the property used here is intermolecular space. Now coming to our next problem, we have problem number 4. What are the characteristics of the particle of the matter? So what are the basic characteristics of the particle of the matter? This question I have already discussed in our previous lectures, but for a while I am going to remind you all these points. So these points are: matter are indivisible, it may be solid, liquid, gas, it shows various effects, and it may have intermolecular forces or intermolecular distances between them. So these are the basic characteristics of the particle of the matter. Now coming to our next question, we have problem number 5. The mass per unit of a substance is called density. Arrange the following in the increasing order of their density. So we have a formula for density, that is mass upon volume. Density is defined as a mass upon volume. Now we have to arrange these particles in the increasing order of their density. So among all these, iron is more dense because density is directly proportional to mass. It means higher the mass, higher will be the density. So among all these, the maximum we are arranging it in increasing order. So the compound having highest density will be iron. Iron is more dense. Second, we are given with a chalk. Chalk is more dense because it is a solid. Now we are coming to our next, honey, water and cotton. So among all these three, honey will have a larger density. So honey, then water. Cotton is having a less weight, so cotton is less dense. Now we are given with air and exhaust from chimney. Air is a lighter dense material because it does not have a much of the mass, but exhaust from the chimneys in the case have some solid particles with it. So firstly air and then exhaust from chimneys. So this will be the order of the increasing order of the various of the density of the substance. So these questions are enough for today. We will discuss our next questions in our next section. Thank you so much.